Back everyone, welcome back to another week, another edition of the Sparkling Tuna Cup. Sparkling Tuna Cup number 113. That's a lot of tunas, Poppy. That's a lot of tunas. Welcome one and all. I'm of course ZvT. With me I'm joined by these amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome one and all. Bienvenidos. Good morning, good evening, welcome. Let's go. Let's jump on an exclamation mark and be in the chat if you guys want to have a look back yourselves. This is a weekly open tournament, open to all shapes, all sizes, all regions, and we have a stacked bracket tonight, even featuring a player that we have never actually had in a Tuna Cup before. We'll get into it. For now though, we're jumping into our first best of 3. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we do have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg player himself. It is YoungYakov. Do apologize for the camera shaking. I was trying to fix some things up. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the yellow Terran representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. Let's go, let's go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our TVZ. Let's go. Vamonos, papi, vamonos. Here we go, as we do have our initial standard openers here. And welcome to Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock, of course, is one of the new maps in the ladder. Of course, if you didn't know this, it's been a week, maybe less than a week at this point, but the ladder has been live with a new, fresh map pool. We, of course, are able to finalize that, able to confirm that, and now has been live for less than a week's time. And we've been featuring that the entire week of tournament play, of course. The new maps, great to see. Ruby Rock is one of them. This is one of the more aggressive maps in the map pool, and if you know anything about HonMonO, he is typically aggressive, especially against Protoss. Again, HonMonO, he is the cheesiest Terran player in the world in TVP, specifically Terran versus Protoss though. In other matchups, he does play more standard, he does play more straight up, but even then he has his own flavor, his own quirks, with certain strange play, sometimes even more macro and hyper defensive play, especially in TVZ. So we'll see how HonMonO will approach YoungYakov. YoungYakov is going to be favored coming into this. We do expect to see some standard play up until the mid game. Then he can play roaches, so we'll keep an eye on the tech of choice, mainly looking though at HonMonO to see if he does anything too quirky by going into BCs, by going into mech, by going into a 2-base all-in and into a 4-axe, for example. Like, he can be a crazy player at times. Let's go. Let us go. So Solo versus Classic confirmed. If you haven't been watching StarCraft matches as of late, I mean, we have seen players in this tournament actually take it and bring a set opposing players down. If you weren't here, if you were watching StarCraft last week, for example, Mech, by the way, Second Factory, Cristiano beat Sola. Cristiano did beat Sola, for example, in the semi-finals, so Sola did not make it to the grand finals last week. Likewise, we have had players like Yakov, like Nickrat as well, and Nightmare and Geralt also pose threats to Classic and Solar. So if you're a little bit unfamiliar, like, there are players that can pose a threat to them. But yes, we'll be getting into the bracket later on in the tournament. Later in the broadcast. For now, we do have... Oh, wait, am I crazy? Was there a cancel... I swear I saw a second factory in production. I mean, clearly not. So I'm blind. I think I may have just seen a building being produced, but in the production tab I noticed the factory, so I was like, oh, second factory. That is a second and third racks, hyper aggressive here, going into a 3 racks follow-up. No starport, no throw TC. This is going to be a very strong sim timing here out of HonMonO. Marines, they do move out across the map to apply pressure to the third base. Queens, they do respond. We have Lings going to be trickling in as well. Do look to trickle in, and with Hellion support, Lings, they can't quite engage, so HonMonO pulls away. Does pull away. He does force out some Zerglings, that is true. We have a safety Bailey Nest on the way here out of YoungYakov. Does go Nest before the lair, so very safe play out of our Zerg player, which I think is quite smart. He doesn't go into the main base yet, which is a little bit concerning, and this is a 2-base all-in. HonMonO, he may pull the boys with this. He does have the opportunity to do so. Behind this, tank production is underway, Stim is underway, building up mass Marine as well, as we did mention earlier, Stim than usual, and more Marines than usual as well. and we might just push without a starport. Without a starport, you pull the boys, you commit, and you try to end the game then and there. If there weren't banelings, then I would be concerned here for YoungYakov, but as long as it doesn't overdrone, as long as he does make as much Ling Bane as possible in time, he should be fine, he should be okay. My big concern though is lack of scouting. Without this overload going into the bases, I mean, Yakov sees nothing, he knows nothing, it could be anything right now. He saw a couple of Hellions, so he knows that there is a factory. For all he knows, it could only be 2 Hellions into 3 CC 2-on-1. It could be a 1-1-1 as well. So Yakov currently is still playing blind. and has yet to really get eyes on much of what HonMonO is up to. HonMonO does have a style to him, that is true, but despite that, he still has a plethora of builds available. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the only time we see this in the series, even if this goes all the way to the ace match. Lair follow-up, delayed Eva chambers, delayed upgrades. Okay, bold move. I mean, I say that right now, it's all about the Link Bane. It's all about the army. Speaking of Hellions, they pick in. Only 4 Hellions. The lack of Hellions at this stage of the game is a bit of a tell as well. There should be more by now. Of course, we know the reason why there aren't any more Hellions is because of tank production. But Yakov, oh, he did poke in. Okay, he poked in. If he saw the tanks, he knows, right? Like, if he did take note of the tanks, then he should be aware. He may have poked in with a Ling. Here we go. We have +1 carapace on the way. Mass Link Bane is in production. Here we go. We pull the boys. The boys are being pulled, and either HonMonO ends the game or he dies trying. And Banelings are good, but that's what the boys are for. If they can tank those Banelings, I mean, that's going to be ideal. Lings, they get across the map. They will catch reinforcements. Nice around. And HonMonO, he does not turn around. He commits. It's go time. It is go time. There is no armory with this. Bear that in mind. So no armory, just Hellions. Banelings are just now morphing in. Only 8 Banelings. HonMonO, he may just have too much. Yeah, he gets up the queens. The queens are exposed. Using 1 queen already. 1 queen goes down. The boys can they get a second queen. Second queen goes down. Behind this, Lings are wreaking havoc with the R reinforcements, and we're running out of Lings, and HonMonO, it looks like he is doing it. Yes, there are Banelings, but remember, it was a Baneliness before the lair. Baneling speed is not going to be a factor, and without Baneling speed, the Banelings cannot engage. They cannot engage, not into this kind of army. Back at home, HonMonO, he defends. We do see more Banelings morphing in, but they're going to be slow. And the tanks are slowly encroaching upon the base here, upon the natural. Getting within range of the spine crawlers. Getting within range. Now, HonMonO, he's taking his time. I'm not too fond of this because you know what's finishing? Baneling speed. We've been chilling here for like 30 seconds. Baneling speed is finishing. We could have been a lot more assertive here. Now with Baneling speed, YoungYakov, he could try to break through. He's going for it. He's going for it. Massive tank shots. Banelings didn't quite connect, and he's done it. Yeah, he has done it. He shuts down the Link Bane. GG gets called, and HonMonO takes game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Again, these aggressive builds are more favorable on Ruby Rock. We did mention at the start of the game, we didn't get to go into why, but specifically on Ruby Rock, the third and natural base are much more accessible. So you're much more vulnerable to these all-ins, to these pushes. This is applicable to Ruby Rock and to Tourmaline as well. Those are the 2 maps where I would say that these all-ins do hit quite hard. They do hit quite strong, just because there's so much less to work with. There's less ramps, less terrain helping you, shorter rush distance by ground. GG. GG, well played. HonMonO takes the lead in the series, and we'll see if HonMonO can close it out here and now, as our players are getting ready here for that second game. And I'm curious what the vetoes were. Let's go. Let us go. And when it comes to YoungYakov's initial setup here against the 2-base all-in, as a reminder, it took a long time to confirm that it was a 2-base all-in. That was my concern for YoungYakov, is the delayed scout as to what was happening. If we saw something earlier when it comes to an Overlord, when it comes to a Ling to confirm the tank production, we could have seen a Roach defense, which would have been much more secure, just to focus and fixate on purely Ling Bane Roach production. But alas, GG. GG, well played, or at least Ling Roach Ravager production. But now we're getting into game 2, going to be loading into, oh, the Old Republic. Interesting. I'm a little bit surprised this map wasn't vetoed. We'll get into it. We'll get into the features, the strengths, the weaknesses. We'll get into the map. Let's go. Let us go. Tanks way too OP. If you weren't here during the game itself, just to reiterate, these tank pushes and tank all-ins are stronger on Ruby Rock just because how exposed the bases are, just because of the terrain itself. Try to emphasize that. But here we go. Here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of the Old Republic, we do have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player himself. Down in the series, it is YoungYakov. Backs around, help Yakov? No. It's in the bottom left-hand corner. We have the yellow Terran player, the yellow Terran player himself, the South Korean Terran representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. Let's go. Let's go. I mean, I'm sure the engagement would have been a little bit better there, for sure. Would have been better. You could definitely argue that HonMonO took a little bit too long to push into the natural as well, but just to re-emphasize a big part of like the strength of that, not just the map itself. The map, like if you put too much emphasis on that, then it's almost like it's, you know, it's an insta win there, and not quite. The map does help, but on top of that, the lack of scouting, lack of preparation as well. We spoke about the strength of Roaches defensively, if you're able to confirm that it was going to be a 2-base all-in. So this also goes towards, you know, again, just lack of information that YoungYakov had. For now, we do see Yakov checking towards the left-hand side for his proxy. Does expand here at the natural, and welcome to the Old Republic. Now, this is a larger map of the map pool. I'm a little bit surprised that HonMonO went for this map, just because, one, the map is larger, the map is more defensive, but also the map is very difficult for the Terran player to actually expand and play macro on. So I feel like HonMonO has less options on the Old Republic, whereas he's typically a very aggressive player. Ideally, he wants to lure his opponent into a false sense of security. Don't know if he can achieve that here. For now, ranks, expand, CC on the high ground. Very safe play here by HonMonO, and we do see that YoungYakov does send out a couple of links here. Does invest into 6. This was an earlier pool, a delayed expansion, and this actually works really well for HonMonO. So he gambles a little bit, he rolls a dice, and HonMonO, he gambles well. Because the earlier pool timing out of YoungYakov, it means that these links should delay the CC, maybe even force a cancel. But remember, HonMonO, he went for a CC on the high ground, so he's safe. So he is very, very safe here. Lings are moving in, and when it comes to the openers, HonMonO is in a better position, as these Lings didn't really achieve anything. And remember, YoungYakov, he delayed his natural base. Delayed his natural here, he pokes in, he doesn't force like any repairing, he doesn't force an extra SCV off the mineral line. The one downside here, as we do have a very fast third CC on the way. So fast third CC, remember, no Reaper, right? On the sorry, there is. Reaper first across the map, in position to delay the third. No kills on it yet. The Overlord pokes in, and YoungYakov, this time he gets full confirmation of the third CC. So much better scouting here by YoungYakov. I say better scouting, just scouting in general out of YoungYakov. He pokes in, he confirms that there is a third command center, and this time I'm not seeing things. This time that is a second factory. This time it is mech. If you remember, I did last game call mech because I thought I saw a second factory on the way. That was not the case. It looks like it was just the first factory. But here, there is a second factory. It is mech out of HonMonO. Now, this is making a little bit more sense, but I mean, we'll see where this leads us. As I mentioned before, I mean, we mentioned it to explain it here. Welcome to the Old Republic. Here we do have a very secure natural base. Unlike the previous map, there's a ramp coming into it, so this is a much more defendable natural location. Likewise, you have a third base also on the high ground. I would say a relatively defendable 3-base setup. Now, the 4th base is much more difficult to take here. You have the low ground 4th option, which is very exposed, very open. There's multiple angles of attack, very wide attack angle as well on the right hand side, or you have the base on the right hand side instead, the linear 4th base, which also has a very wide attack angle and also is far away from the 3rd. The distance here between 3rd and 4th base is very, very long, so rotating defensively between these bases can be very, very difficult, between these 3 bases even. So you're spread thin. You're spread thin trying to be defensive. This time YoungYakov does open up Roaches, thankfully. Yakov, he didn't confirm mech. He hasn't confirmed it yet. He's now going in, but he's playing safe this time, as opposed to last game where he skipped his Roach Horn and he went Banelings instead. So much safer play here by YoungYakov. He's where the economic starts. And Yakov, he pokes him with the Overlord, and he will confirm the extra factories, the Hellions. So he does confirm double factory. So this time he sees everything, and you can see a stark contrast between YoungYakov in game 1 and game 2, where Yakov, he is able to scout everything. He confirms both factories, he confirms the 3rd CC, he confirms the mech, he played it safe, went for Roaches. Despite that, Hellions, they go for the dive. Roach production's on the way. And Lings, they buy enough time. Hellies, they do not make their way in. Queens are in position. Very nice body block. Oh, no! Nice body blocking, but better KDA charge. Knocks the Queens out of position. Hellies, they go for the dive. Roaches are trickling in. And we need Roaches. We need Roaches. We need some Sim City here. The boys are going to be pulled away. Hellions, can they get in? Up! He goes to the boys. No, they're lining up. The drones line up. They're getting roasted here. 6 drones going down. We get one more volley. 11 drone kills. Oh, no. Yeah, 12 drones falling. This is becoming critical damage here. Ay, ay, ay. And again, this was so close as well. Roaches were in production. We actually had a really nice wall off here. and then the KDA charge. The MVP Reaper. The Reaper popped off, opened the wall, and that is 15 drones going down. Ay, critical damage. Now, the plus side here is that HonMonO did spend all of his Hellions. True, he spent all of his Hellions. Here comes the counterattack, and what is it to defend? Well, usually there'd be Cyclones, but there's no Cyclone production. We're going into tanks. Tanks, they're taking longer to produce. Tanks, there's only one tank? Oh, no. Roaches are waddling in. At the same time, Hellions, they once again get across the map. More drones going to be falling, and the Roaches... Okay, he doesn't turn around. He doesn't turn around. That's another 10 drone kills. Oh my god, that is crippling damage here. That is what, 25 drones? Yeah, 25 drones going down. But remember, what is it to defend? Like HonMonO, he's been spending anything aggressively across the map. The Wiles! Oh, Wiles don't connect. Second tank has arrived, and the third base is denied. So Yakov, he will delay mining at the third. So this is nice damage. It's not amazing, but it's damage nonetheless. Keeping the Terran player on a 2-base economy until the Terran players are able to build up their own tanks. Now, I do like this decision here by YoungYakov, I should say. As he pokes in, he sees, he confirms there's no Cyclones, right? Like, he's going straight into the tank, and one tank goes down, massive pickup. He's going for a second tank as well, no repairs. Yeah, no repairs in time. These are expensive losses for HonMonO, losing 2 tanks. But again, he does take note. This is a more traditional form of mech, Hellion into tank, which means mutas can actually excel. So he's going for the Spire, going into muta play. Yes, towards the end, we finally have some Cyclones in production, but this should have been done earlier, right? We needed Cyclones much sooner, much earlier. On top of that, because we did kind of delay the Cyclone production, Macfill accelerators only just began as well. So there is a window. There's a window in time where mutas can actually be effective here against mech. Is a window. Hellions, they go for the dive. Roaches are somewhat in position. Oh no! Oh, a bit of miscontrol there by Yakov. A bit of miscontrol. Mutas are on the way. We can see HonMonO, he's fully turtling up. We have a massive ring of turrets, sensor tower, tank lines as well. And this is where I have to go back to what we said at the beginning of the game. I mean, so far the Hellion harass has been very nice from HonMonO, that is true. But if you recall, I did mention how it's going to be very difficult here for HonMonO to get a 4th base. But tanks over, sorry, the Roaches overextend into tank fire. HonMonO, he will defend on 3 bases, and this is a given, right? He's meant to defend on 3 bases, but the 4th base here is going to be so difficult to maintain, or at least it should be. You could argue that maybe because he killed 25 workers at the start of the game, the HonMonO, he has a large enough lead, right? Where his lead is going to be large enough. Where despite it being difficult to defend, he's going to be able to build up and mass up an army. Now we have a mass Cyclone. Mutas are deflected. Guess who? 2 mutas go down. And we'll see. As YoungYakov is spreading creep, he's maintaining his bases, joining up to 80. Again, YoungYakov, he's been delayed because he lost so many drones throughout the course of this game. So by now, YoungYakov, he should be maxed, right? He should be looking towards maxing out, but he is late to do so here, incorporating into Bailings and switching into Hive Tech as well. So he's taking up, HonMonO is scanning, trying to get a read on the economic position that he's in. And the game is going to slow down. The game is slowing down. It's on YoungYakov to maintain map control, spread creep as best he can, knock down all these rocks, and contain HonMonO on 3 bases. That's going to be the win condition here for YoungYakov, just contain. Doesn't have to move in. Another Hellion run by. This time, oh, Yakov is ready. Oh, este lechito in the chat. Oh no! And that's going to be 6 drones going down. Whew, one more volley, that would have been disastrous, as there's, what, 5 extra workers here on 1 HP. Very low, on 6 HP even. Despite that decent damage here by HonMonO. He's moving out, he's got his Cyclones. Cyclones have amassed. Oh. As there aren't many Hellions here. There's not that much Hellion support, so he has to be careful. Has to respect those Zerglings. Infestors are amassing as well. Bearing in mind that Microbial Shroud may be a viable option here. specifically to break the siege lines. Oh. Interesting, the HonMonO, he's going into Widowmine, not into Hellbats. Okay. It's going to be a lot more hit and miss here for HonMonO. We'll see if the Widowmines do connect. And he's taking the center base. So he's going for his center fourth. Once again, here we do have a lot of angles of attack. Hive is almost done. And with that, we can go straight into the Greater Spire in towards Broodlord tech. So we'll see if Yakov goes into Broodlords. For now, he's maxing out on Lingbane, Roach Ravager, and Fester. And one good fight is all that YoungYakov needs to clean up this army and then to push in towards the fourth. Remember, it's very light on tanks. The army, I mean. The army for HonMonO. Very light on tanks. Now we have some tank production towards the end. 5 more tanks on the way. So we got 3 tanks with the main army. Just moving in. So far, we get some okay lock-ons. Files on the tanks. Oh no, they're stacked. Yeah, both tanks are down. Down to 1. Yeah, there's 1 tank left with the main army. Ay, ay, ay. Este HonMonO. So he's rallying. He's rallying across. Here's moving in. Where are the Infestors, by the way? They're coming in from behind. Yeah, the flanking Infestors getting ready for the Mass Fungal. And hopefully they go unnoticed. Yeah, it does head behind. Also, goddamn a HonMonO. It's always a deep enjoyer. As we're building up the Lingbane. And coming for the Neurals, actually. Okay. Neurals on the tanks. Ooh, oh no! A little bit of miscontrol there. Does borrow. Unable to push in. And does get 3 tanks. A handful of tanks are down. No fungal. That was a bold move, but it felt a little bit lackluster there for YoungYakov. He lost all the Infestors. He lost everything. I think he got like 1 volley with the tanks, if that. And HonMonO he's going in for the kill. He's going for the kill at this point. He's pushing in. The space is soon under fire. Here come the lock-ons. Oh. Miles, they do connect. At the same time, Yakov going for a massive link run by. And he will deny some mining. He will kill some SCVs. Miles are coming in, getting 1 more tank. Okay, YoungYakov is holding on. He's holding on back. We were convinced Light to start collection magic cards and play Commander with me. I have enough cards to play Commander. I still got my Commander deck somewhere. But my cards are very out of date. Very out of date. Este lechito. Ferrari Mech is still a thing. I mean, Ferrari Mech is weaker than it once was. And we're trying to make it a thing. No. Este milk. As again, thanks to the Ling run by, YoungYakov, he was there to buy some time. The center base barely survived. And with that, he does buy some breathing room. For what? Broodlords. Here we go. 10 Broodlords are morphing in. Currently, there are 0 Infestors. 0 Infestors with the main army. They're just now trickling in as well. So Yakov is maxing out. Yeah, HonMonO has lost his foothold. That was his moment earlier. He had to push in. He had to break that position. I mean, shout out to YoungYakov going for the run by. He was able to buy time, alleviate all that pressure. And now HonMonO is stuck at home. And for the first time, he has to be the defender here. And we spoke about how open this area is. Here come the Broodlords. Okay, there are 2 Vikings. Oh, Miles, they will not connect. Going for the fungal instead. Unfortunately, no combination. Oh, and so far getting 1 Broodlord. Getting another. And 2 Broodlords going down. It's gonna get 3. We're gonna the 2 hero Vikings. They got 2 broods. So far, HonMonO is holding. He's holding on. Of course, Yakov is maxed. And soon he can just move out and break one of these bases. I don't really have any doubt in that. The one thing that's stopping him, of course, the Mass Viking, and we do need some anti-air. And of course, Yakov's supply is inflated due to his Roach Ravager. But once he pushes, I don't see him being stopped. Unless he waits too long, of course. Like, he's maxed. He's at 200 supply. But is he taking too long? Back at home, HonMonO getting more turrets, more sensor towers, more liberators as well. Working on +3. His linear base is exposed. There's a very little here to defend. But we gotta go soon. It's one of those things where YoungYakov, he doesn't see what we see, right? He doesn't know that he was up 50 supply. He unironically was up 50 supply. Not anymore. HonMonO, he's maxed. He's maxing out. Now, when it comes to the army compositions here, HonMonO, he's still a little bit lacking. Ideally, when you get into this kind of late game maxed out composition, mech is good, Ghost mech is even better, right? It's like Ghost, they play their own role as well when it comes to dealing with infestors, broodlords as well, with their EMPs, with their snipes. So ideally, you do want to work towards incorporating Ghosts with your army alongside the mech. For now, though, we're going to mass tank, Liberator, Viking, Cyclone. Actually getting a lot of Vikings. No Thors, bear that in mind. Now, all this will come down to scans, ensuring that infestors don't sneak up in the army. Tanks are slowly pushing forward. Here come the broodlords. Goes move in, they get 1, they get 2 tanks. 2 tanks are down. Vikings, they engage. And there are so many Vikings here. Yeah, they break through. Files are connecting though. Here we go, my Crow Shroud on the way, let's go. 10 more Corruptors. This will come down to the battle in the skies. I would like to see Thors instead of Cyclones. These Cyclones are going to be a little bit less useful here. As we have 11 more Corruptors on the way. So really pushing in. And again, YoungYakov, he's been very, very defensive here for the majority of the mid-game. Like, he's building up a massive bank as a result. But he's been unwilling to trade. We'll see if it pays off. Does get a couple of tanks. Do we have any power bombs? Well, it's 0 Viper. Oh, God. No Vipers. No power bombs. And with that, Vikings, they do punish. Yeah, Vipers are still just now on the way. Ay, ay, ay. Again, the Zerg army does need those spellcasters, whether it's power bombs, whether it's fungals. Without it, Yakov is just going to get bullied. Meanwhile, nice run by once again. Lanes get into the bases. I love that we have a planetary here at the natural. Lanes just run by. Oof. And Vikings, they push in. Vikings, they dominate the skies. They, oh my god, they just punish the Corruptors. Corruptors go down. 22 Vikings against 17 Corruptors. And HonMonO pulls away. He pulls away. His reinforcements have been delayed. He's up the Ling runway. Broodlords do gain some ground. Ooh, I just realized that HonMonO, his upgrades are very much so lacking here. He only has +3 vehicle plating. He's going into battle cruisers. Yeah, he's going for more starports, going into mass BC. Here come the power bombs. Oh! And power bombs do connect. Fungal as well. Very nice. And Vikings are falling. Yeah, Mass Vikings going down. Corruptors, they should be able to win the fight. Sling Bane is rolling in. And they're going for the planetary. GG. GG gets called. The base is broken. And YoungYakov, he will take game number 2. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We tie things up. We're going to the ace match here. Again, very patient play to YoungYakov. I do think he could have been more aggressive and more assertive, but despite that, he was able to at least maintain map control, build up his army, build up his bank. GG. GG, well played. Again, towards the end there, we saw the Parabomb Fungal combo, so the Vikings that were just being punished, they were being brutalized, and likewise, the Crown Armor was very much so lacking there for HonMonO. Not too in love with the idea that he still had Cyclones towards the end there. They're very fragile units, so he couldn't really, be that wall that he needed to be. And with that, GG. With that, GG, well played. And now we're getting into the ace match, and we'll see where our players do take us. Where are we dropping? As game 3 is going to be on Tourmaline. Let's go. Let us go. Otherwise, we'll be getting into the rest of the brackets after the series. We'll get there. We will get there. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player himself. Oh, tying up the series 1-1, it is YoungYakov. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the yellow Terran player. The yellow Terran himself representing Team Hyper 1. It is HonMonO. Here we go. So we are going to be settling in to another one of these aggressive maps. If you recall, I did compare this map to Ruby Rock earlier. Ruby Rock is the map where HonMonO did go for a big 2-base all-in, going for a 3-1 setup here, 3 Raxes, 1 factory. One of the reasons why it could work so well is one of the same features of this map. Referring to this entrance here, this area in between the natural and the third base. You do have a massive pathway from one side of the map to the other. There's no terrain, there's no ramps. There are a little bit of side blockers here in the dead center, but outside of that, the rush distance by ground is very direct. It's very direct here from natural to natural, and also the attack path here, the entrance is insanely wide. You can see it's very, very wide. It does mean that there's no defensive choke point, there's no defender's advantage, or the defensive advantage is lessened, is weaker here in between your natural and your third base, and also applicable to the third as well. You can see here that the entrance to the third is even wider, especially once you knock down these rocks, right? It's a massive entrance here into the third. Once again, there's no high ground, there's no points of elevation, there's no terrain here to kind of disrupt the army or to slow it down. It can be quite difficult to defend. We've even seen several struggle to defend here on Tourmaline. It goes both ways. I would say that roach base all-ins can hit really hard on Tourmaline. At the same time, some bio timing attacks can hit very hard as well. Double gas opener, no CC. Oh boy, 1 base all-in. This looks like a 1 base all-in here by HonMonO. I was assuming it would be a 2 base all-in, to be honest. I was leaning towards 2 base play. You can see he's hunting for the Overlord. The Overlord does fan off towards the left-hand side. It does veer off here, and HonMonO is looking for the Overlord. He's like, where is it? Where are you? Trying to deny vision, trying to deny scouting. Again, YoungYakov towards the left-hand side, going for the linear third base. Bold move. Okay. This means that this high ground is going to be even more difficult to deal with from the side of YoungYakov. It's going to be reinforcing from the low ground instead. Ooh, Widowmine gets revealed. Big scout here already. So YoungYakov, he sees nothing. He doesn't get into the main base, but because he saw the Widowmine, he knows that a factory is done, and he knows that there's no command center either. As there was no CC on the low ground, there was no CC in the main base ramp either. So we know it's a 1-1-1 going into BC production. The Overlord is going in. The Overlord should get a full scout as well. So Yakov here will see all. Behind this, making more lings, getting into his own queen production as well. Widowmine will burrow. Can he get a queen? Oh, not quite. Yeah, not quite. And Yakov should be fine. Should be fine here. Yeah, Maestro goes off. Queen's a tank. Lings they surround, and Yakov, he shuts down the Widowmine and all the Marines. Meanwhile, in the main base, what has he seen? He has seen the 111 and the Fusion Core. He knows. He knows that BCs are coming. We need Queens and a Spore. So he's joining up, getting more Queens. Again, it's a fancy build here from HonMonO, but I mean, he's been scouted, right? That's all you got to do. He's been scouted. We have an armory behind this as well, so it looks like it's going to be a Hellbat BC on one base. How many queens do we have? 4, so it'll be 7. So 7 queens to defend. Decent amount of queens. Defensive Roach Warren. I'm a little bit concerned with the lack of Spore at the natural. A little bit concerning. Okay, there we go. We have a Spore in the main. So Spore in the main base. Losing this Overlord will supply block YoungYakov. So nice supply block. More Hellions are coming in. Here comes the BC. Remember, there's no Spore at the natural. I was worried about this. Yeah, Spore's still in production. Queen's being targeted down. Do we have a transfuse? Oh, yes, some rough targeting there with the battlecruiser. As one Queen is going to go down. Yeah, Safari gets 1, he gets 2. Gonna get up to 3. The BC needs to move in. Oh, we have the mass repair. Ooh, and this might just be too much. Yeah, this might just be too much here. The Roach Horn is gonna go down. We have a couple of Roaches on the way. The Hellbat does overextend. Yeah, so a bit of miscontrol here from HonMonO. Does repair the medevac. Yeah, Lings, they try to engage. Oh my god, they take down the final Marines. Yeah, the Marine goes down. Again, the Hellbat overextended earlier. So some miscontrol by HonMonO. And with that, Yakov, he's holding. He's holding on. The Queens are holding back. Here comes a counterattack. Pushing into the main base, and again, there was a little potential with this one base all in. Unfortunately, he got fully scattered. Remember at the start of the game, there were 2 Marines that were hunting down the Overlord. If they caught the Overlord, that could have been game, to be honest. It would have supply blocked YoungYakov, but more importantly, it would have meant that YoungYakov would never seen this. He would have never seen the Fusion Core, would have never seen the armory, I mean, he didn't see the armory, would have never seen the starport either. That could have been game then and there. But thankfully, YoungYakov, he veered off towards the left-hand side instead. He kept the Overlord alive. He got the full scout. Now, HonMonO, he does defend back at home. He does defend. He's got 2 BCs in the main. But again, there's 3 Spore Crawlers. Yeah, the Spores, they zone away. 1 Queen does get targeted. The boys are mass repairing. Another Queen. Oh no, the SCVs! No! SCVs are going down. No more repairs. Yeah, there's 0 SCVs. I have to rely on the mule instead. And behind that, we're building up to 3 battlecruisers. True. I mean, that's a lot of battlecruisers. But at the same time, Yakov, he's on a 3-base economy. The Spire is finishing up. Throughout the production has begun. Ooh, let's get one of the Spores. Ruptures, they go for the dive. And 1 BC does go down. Finally gets 1. Ooh. Do we transfuse? There it is. And again, HonMonO, he has nothing behind this. There's nothing behind this here. He's building up another battlecruiser. He's got a Hellion in production. Barely has an economy. BC cannot teleport away. Hell's on cooldown. And Yakov is perfectly fine. He's going to mute production. He's rebuilding his Roach Horn. We do have the Hellions coming in from behind, but there are links to defend. Can and they will. They will defend. And again, from here, we're just waiting for YoungYakov to just build up his economy, mass up enough anti-air. Here, he doesn't have enough to out DPS the mass healing of the SCVs. So Yakov is going to calm down, going to build up his army. And even now, he doesn't really have enough anti-air. He's still building on more mutas, more corruptors. He might have enough to dive, maybe, and focus on one of the battle cruisers, but they have teleports there. They'll be fine. They can teleport away. Speaking of, up. There's a teleport just in time. We should be able to teleport the other battle cruiser as well. Meanwhile, the ground army is just moving in. There's a teleport. Boys are being pulled. And we don't have enough anti-air here. I mean, there's only 4 mutas. 4 mutas, 2 corruptors. Yeah, it's again, Yakov just misjudging how much he has. It's not enough to break this. Just gotta calm down, Yakov. Calm down. Build up. Yakov is supply blocked. Ravagers will help. There we go, the wall is open. This time there's no repairs. And finally, Yakov is on it. Files they connect. Yeah, files are connecting. Lingworth Ravager busts into the mineral line. GG gets called, and YoungYakov, he will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the next round. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations, YoungYakov. He will claim the series, and again, the MVP Overlord this game. The Overlord did go the long way around, did hug the edge of the map instead on the left hand side, and we spoke about it. HonMonO, his first 2 Marines were hunting for the Overlord. He failed to scout it, he failed to shut it down, and as a result, he failed to deny the scout of YoungYakov. That same Overlord got into the main base, confirmed the starport, confirmed the fusion core as well. So YoungYakov, he knew exactly what was going on. He knew exactly that BCs were coming, so he could prepare back at home. Despite that, it was still a terrifying first wave and first push. We also saw HonMonO kind of make some mistakes there when it came to the attack, overextending with his ground units, pushing too far forward, losing them as a result, and having less to support his battle cruisers. GG. GG, well played. And with that, YoungYakov, he'll advance on into the next round, and let's catch up on the bracket. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed. Let's go.